Good enough. Have you ever seen a UFO?
Tonight on Spaced Out with Merc and Marz, Ep.3, Parlor, Trix, we're going to be diving deep into space anomalies. What is it that you are seeing in the sky? How do you guys feel about that? And before we get into that, for everybody tuning in with us, if you are tuning in, thank you for coming to hang out with us this week and chat with us. We are experimenting a little bit with a little bit of green screen, um, so you're not hallucinating. It's really there. Don't worry about it. um, how do you guys feel about the anomalies in the sky?
It's a little weird, but like at the same time, this has been happening for hundreds of years. So it's like
It's been happening for hundreds of years that we're shooting down things in
not
our
that we're shooting them down,
airspace
but that we're seeing things.
I have an abnormal fear of the apocalypse, so I'm just petrified all the time now.
Okay, so just to get into it, if you haven't heard about it, I don't know where you have been, but you're gonna learn about it right now. So after a Chinese spy balloon was brought down this month, the U.S. has shot down at least three unidentified flying objects over the past few days. A balloon entered Alaskan airspace on January 28th and later drifted into Idaho, southeast to Carolinas before it was shot down on February 4th, off the coast of the Carolinas. Um, that one was flying at an altitude of like 6,000 to 65 or 60,000 to 65,000 feet.
Yeah,
Commercial airlines fly at 20 some to like 40,000.
Yeah.
So
that thing was flying up high. Like
yeah, that was the one that was the spy balloon. That was identified as the spy balloon. But on Friday the 10th, another one was brought down over the waters of Alaska. The object broke into pieces though, so it wasn't like a balloon. You know what I mean? It was made differently than that. It didn't seem like it was built or produced by the same people. You know what I mean? Type thing. It was supposedly like the size of a car. I don't know if I believe any of this necessarily because none of it's been proven. They haven't really released a lot of statements about it.
They really haven't. They've been rather quiet about it, honestly.
Then on the 11th,
They've been saying things about it, but they haven't been like disclosing a lot of information about it.
Right.
They're still trying to keep it on the down low.
Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, man.
Yeah. On Monday's press release at the White House, the press secretary said that there was no indication of alien or extraterrestrial activity within the recent takedowns. So, like, I don't know if they're just like covering it up, like, oh yeah, there's no alien involvement, but in reality,
but it's
we're
weird.
Fighting.
Well, they're not. They're also not
men.
saying that they didn't find it though.
Yeah, our own government is kind of twisted within themselves though in that sense then because I've read articles where government officials have said that it's possibly.
All right, well, let's think of it this way. We went years and years and years of there's no aliens, there's no sign of alien life, there's no this, there's no that, blah blah blah, and then but in the background it was Area 51, Area 51. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, we're gonna finally admit to you guys that there's so many UFOs that like we don't know if they're human, if they are, we don't know how they made the technology, like blah blah blah. If they lied about that for so long until it finally got to the point where there was so much evidence from civilians that you couldn't hide it anymore, and then like the fighter jet pilots that were retired and then came out and admitted shit, excuse me, But like after all of those things, it's really hard to not believe that the government would lie about. Oh, that's not aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The government lies to people all the time. That's like their thing. They've been doing
Yeah,
that.
they
since
only want to
its
give
creation.
you. Yeah, they only want to give you as much of it as they believe that you can take as a society at a time. You know what I mean? So it's
They
like,
want to keep us on a need to know basis.
Yeah,
and
it's like
for a lot
you-
of things, they're like,
They don't
y'all
want
don't
to.
need to
They
know.
don't want
Y'all
us.
need to keep it on.
They
the
don't want to
low.
lose
we'll
control
nuke
of
ourselves.
us.
Yeah, we'll nuke ourselves.
Absolutely.
If we knew for a fact there's aliens and hypothetically aliens on another planet were already talking to our government, like they've came in and they've talked to them before.
We would be up in
And-
arms about it. Everybody would.
Exactly, because you don't know what they're planning in the background. You don't know what
You don't know
what's
you don't know
going
what's
on.
about to go down. You don't know if there's going to be an extraterrestrial
And the
war
moment that they
happening.
say
soon.
that is what it is when people start panic buying everything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's like, all right,
You'll
well
get what
now
happened
we'll
with the
tell you
pandemic, but
But
UFOs.
that brings the question in my mind: should you be doing that already? Then should you be preparing yourself since they're not telling
I
you?
mean, prepare yourself. Don't panic buy
Oh,
because
always.
that
No,
starves
yeah,
other
never
people.
panic buy.
Always
Don't ever
always
panic
prepare
buy anything,
yourself.
because we saw
Buy
what
a lot
happened with COVID. Don't
of
be an
everything,
asshole.
but not like at the same time, and
Yeah.
not at the same
Like when you
store.
go to the grocery
Yeah.
store, be
Like,
like, oh, I
Go to
don't, I
different
need one of
stores and
those.
just buy not all of it, but a lot of.
No.
just
When
not
you
a
go
lot,
to the
but, like-
store, when you see something you need, like, oh, I need toothpaste today, I'm gonna get 2 extra, and do that every time you get toothpaste.
Yeah.
And do that with everything else you buy.
That's why I like panic buying.
Yeah, but it's just like
But I-
you're buying
I
2
understand.
extra.
It's
one or
it's
2
moderating.
extra.
And like
Yeah.
you can go to like a different store and like say you go to like Walmart and buy like 2 things of toilet paper, and then you go to like Walgreens, you buy 2 more things of toilet paper,
Right.
and then like you go to like Dollar General and buy 2 things of coffee, and then go to like, I don't know, other places in like buy some stuff.
I'll pop it back up real quick.
FEMA recommendations? Yeah.
Hmm.
That is something we need to look into. I don't know, man. There's definitely things out there that we don't know about that some people would rather not know about.
Agreed.
I'm one of those people. I'd rather just not
yeah,
know.
she is.
I'd rather
I don't
know
like
what's
to watch
out
the
there.
news. I don't like to hear about it. It's just gonna give me nightmares and make me worry.
I want to be prepared.
What
as
am I
much
gonna
as
do
I
to stop
possibly
it?
can be.
Nothing. So
Oh,
don't
oh.
tell me.
I want to know what's out there because it's like I just want to know. I don't like not knowing if there's a possible threat to
Okay, so listen to
the
this.
generations to come.
So this is, basically, Biden owes us an explanation, right? When it comes down to it, somebody needs to address us about this.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's go here, right here. I'll read this. So the commander in charge of patrolling U.S. and Canadian airspace says that we have never shot anything down, and like I guess ever on American soil. You know,
It's 'cause
for them
nothing-
to
it's 'cause
shoot
nothing
things
really
down.
comes over
It's
here.
not
We
meant,
don't
no,
really
because
do
it's not meant
anything
to
here.
happen.
Right.
We're not supposed to be shooting shit down on our own soil
No.
like that.
Like other countries, they do that on the regular
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
America's
But-
not supposed to be one of them.
Yeah.
Which is the interesting thing.
Well
because
said.
I mean,
well-
regardless,
well
everybody
said.
still has their guns. So
That is a
Yes.
good point.
That is
If
a
humans
good
did
point.
meet their gods, they would try to kill them.
Yeah.
Because that's just in human nature is to kill and take over.
Human nature is to be dominant, which means if we finally meet our gods, we wouldn't want them to have control.
No, we wouldn't want we wouldn't want to have a higher power.
We would want
Like there would be those people who like kiss the soil they walk on.
Meeting your god admits that you technically don't have freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like you're gonna fight for your freedom. You want full
Yeah.
absolute freedom. So now there's your, you know what I mean? Now you have a target.
Yeah.
Now you have something to blame. Now you have somebody to blame things
and
on.
now you have something to blame for all the problems.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
people already do that without meeting their gods. So it's like,
Yeah, but now they have a face to put to it.
Yeah, it's a lot different whenever you can actually go to your God's domain and plead your case or attempt.
Speaking of gods, did you see in Rio, in Brazil, where the fucking statue was
the
struck?
statue got struck by lightning. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's intriguing.
I saw it. Oh,
I-
speaking of
Part of
speaking
me,
of lightning,
just the
though,
paranoid part of me feels like that's like a.
that's a bad. That's an omen. That is a
omen of the
that is
coming
a bad
days.
sign. But like,
Hey, we love you and miss you too, Wolvie.
yeah, love and miss you, bro.
Hope y'all are being safe out there. Much love to all the Morgantown people for real.
Absolutely.
You know it. I'm linking up with Drink soon. I was told that you would be included, so I will definitely see you then. You know it's all love over here, bro. We just doing what we always do.
Back onto the topic of the UFOs that we were
Correct.
shooting down and stuff. The spokesperson for National Security Council told reporters that all three objects uh, recently shot down over the United States and Canada were determined not to pose a threat to anybody on the ground. They weren't really a threat. They were just kind of there, and with the
Yeah, but like
Chinese
why?
balloon or whatever, they just weren't taking any chances and they wanted it gone. They don't want it to be there, so they shot it down.
My question is, what are they looking at in regular civilian life that they need to know? Because it's not like it's looking at any kind of important information. It's just looking at regular everyday life.
So that's the thing that I
Is
kind of
it-
wonder. I don't even know what it's doing necessarily.
Is it
This
just
is-
trying to
this
see
is
what it
what-
has to go up against whenever it comes to
Yeah, this is
Uh,
this is what I
Americans with
think.
guns in their homes?
I think it's like they're just kind of seeing what they can see. It's not really for like anything like important. It's just like, what can we see? Like, what can we look at and see to see if there's any threat, or to see if they're not really hostile or anything.
Yeah.
And personally, if you ask me, I think shooting down that weather balloon was kind of stupid.
I don't. You don't
I
know where it
think
could have
we
been
should have
heading.
shot it sooner.
Well, they already let it cross the entire United
Yeah,
States.
the thing
They
about
let it
that,
cross all the
they
way.
knew when it left. They knew when it left the ground in China.
They just want to see what it was going to do. They want to see if it was going to be something dangerous.
Yeah. Right?
And it
But
it
why,
didn't. It
why take
wasn't,
that chance is my
it
question.
wasn't really anything dangerous. It was just like an in orbit
Maybe to give the
satellite.
people a reason to be mad with them.
Yeah, but the government already does that enough. It's like,
How
I'm
close
gonna do
do you
that.
think we are to a civil war?
very.
Yesterday,
Here's my opinion.
We already got civil war over in
There's
Ukraine and
There's
Russia.
a very serious
like-
war coming. Okay.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
you look at it at all,
World War III is around the corner.
Not
If it's not
just-
our
not just
generation,
that.
it is our children's
not just that.
generation.
No, it's us. It's right now. It's coming. We're in it
So
right
I said,
now.
if it's not us, it's our children.
It's right now. We're here. It's here.
Exactly.
So there's been riots and whole cities burnt.
Well, that's just because Philly lost the
And-
Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just Philly
But
being
no,
Philly.
not my point. So you're
Back
gonna
on
get
the
me off
topic.
topic.
And back on
You're
topic, we're
gonna
not
get
going to talk about that'll be next week's podcast.
Man,
Sports with
now I'm
Merc
thinking
and
about it.
Mars.
Why'd you
No.
have to do that?
No, back onto what you're
Okay.
saying.
So jog my memory. What was the last thing you said?
Burning cities and riots and all that.
No, before that, I said that. What did you say?
I can't remember what I said.
See, that's all right. So I remember. All right. So with the whole alien thing, okay, and the
Yeah,
wars coming, I think it should be called the Great War. This is a war on all fields. It's been a Cold War.
Yeah, but also,
It makes it sound
it's
like
a
we're in
world
Game of
war.
Thrones.
It's a civil war.
also
It's a
think of-
revolutionary war.
we tried doing that with World War One, and then you saw what happened. It got dwarfed by the next new generation of warfare and warfare tactics.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Do you know what the government has? How do you know?
We don't. That's the thing.
Because they're 10
We
years ahead of
assume-
us.
Exactly.
We assume what they have, and it's not. Like when they were working on that uh spy plane or whatever, where it was like it's invisible to drones and everything, and it's super fast. They leaked, like someone within the government leaked that like 6-7 years before it got like publicly announced or something like that.
Right.
So like the government is ahead in what they say. All governments are. They're not gonna say something and let
Absolutely.
everyone know what they have.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if there is a new something more dangerous than a nuke already currently either in development or made. I would not be
Yeah.
surprised.
Right. Excuse me. Did you see where they had found a metal that produced an energy?
No, I
It's
did not
that
see
they
that. I
they
didn't
found
see
this metal. It was on the surface, so assuming it came from an asteroid or something of that
Poss-
nature.
possibly.
But it was a metal that produced energy. Makes me wonder if maybe there's a correlation between these UFO sightings. As Jesse brought up earlier when we were kind of briefly having a conversation about this,
I mean,
this is something that would have to travel like light years away,
Well,
and they're coming for like vacation type shit, right?
well, I mean, think about it this way too. Planets get destroyed all the time. Who's to say that somebody didn't abandon their planet and just happened to come this way? Who's to say that the asteroid isn't a shard of the planet they live
My
on?
point is, who's to say that they didn't learn how to use this metal that we just found
what I'm
that's
saying,
made
too.
of energy to produce a vehicle? But since the vehicle is made of energy, you don't need an energy source. I just don't know how it works. Like, how does it deplete?
Right.
It would be my question. Because that would hold a big.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm sorry, what were we-
Energy.
Oh, yeah.
How much like
about that.
the energy depletion of this metal?
Oh, I definitely think it's gonna be kind of like
I feel like it would
A
work
vib-
on vibrations or something.
I feel like it's gonna be like a vibranium type thing. Like people are going to harness it. People are going to harness it, and they are going to
That's
want,
kinda
and
what
other
it
people are
is.
going to want
Yeah.
what they have, and it's like we're going to fight over that. People will, there will be a war for that because everybody wants new energy, like new ways to power things. They're like
Yeah, but none of it's going to
steam
matter if we
powered
don't
and
have
then
a
like
surplus of it.
gasoline power and then like nuclear power. Like look at that.
It
like,
won't
the
matter.
progress.
It won't matter if we don't have a surplus of it, though, because if there's
Exactly.
not enough to do anything with
So
it,
they
it's
would
not
try to
gonna matter.
fabricate it. They would try to replicate the energy that it gives off. We've been doing that forever. We've been reverse engineering natural things since the dawn of time.
Agree.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I only need a soda. You can get your own soda. But no,
I can get
yeah.
mine, so I ain't buzzed.
civilian technology is quite often delayed by a long time
Yeah.
behind the government and the military.
Agree.
And also another thing about military, just because something says it's military grade does not mean it's better than something regular. Military grade means poor quality. Like I've seen a lot of like TikToks and like stuff of people who have served, and they'd be like, I will never ever touch anything that says military grade on it. Because that is awful. It is horrible. It's just awful things. And it's like always get better than military grade. Just because it says military grade doesn't mean it's the best of the best. Find something better, and you can find something better.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Like,
I agree.
I think's weird. I I think it is weird that uh, there were so many sightings of these UFOs together. But then again, I also think that uh, because of like all the scrutiny and all the everything from that Chinese balloon, the United States has been on high alert. They have been keeping an eye on their radars and stuff, waiting to see if there anything else is
I
going to
mean,
pop up.
How about
And
Putin
then-
breaking the nuclear peace treaty?
Yeah, that's some scary stuff.
Yeah,
It is very scary what's happening over in
they
Ukraine.
just
Yeah,
just
the
made-
planet can't really survive any more nuclear
well, they
warfare.
just made a front attack against Ukraine this morning. After that,
Oh yeah.
and I guess
That's gonna be
Biden's
fun.
sending American tanks.
Sending over the Abrams. USA. USA. The Abrams is it's a beast of a tank.
Do you think we belong in Ukraine?
No.
Yes
In
and
all
no.
honesty,
I think it's our
no.
responsibility to help them because of the treaties and things that we have
I think
going on.
with the current president we have, no,
but I
we
don't
should
think
avoid
that
it
it's smart.
because he is not going to make the right decisions. He's going to make stupid decisions that are going to cost people their lives.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's smart for our safety to get involved, but I think it's smart for the sake of
I
relationships
think if
with other countries.
you
to get
want to
involved.
pick up a kit and a gun and go fight, you're more than welcome to. But
Yeah.
major military like presence from the United States does not belong there. Yeah, our governments can send stuff. They can like send weapons and ammo and vehicles.
If our country wanted to help,
But once
should.
they start putting US soldiers on Ukrainian ground, World War III is going to break out.
my standpoint on it is more so on the point of like we have a lot going on here. There's a lot going on in this country right now. I think those problems might be a little more important than that.
To give you my opinion in simplest terms, our poor son.
Yeah.
The world
I
that
mean-
he was going to grow up in is not going to be pretty.
Yeah, it's gonna
The
be
world
bad.
that we have inherited from the older generation is ruined because of the older generations, and they will not take
No bombs.
responsibility for it. They won't take
It's
responsibility for it.
everybody's issue, and the issue comes in the fact that nobody lives long enough to see the problem.
And the people that are older also don't really care because they figure they're not going to be here to see the aftermath anyway.
Oh,
You know how many times I've heard older people with more pessimistic mindsets say, "Well, I won't be here to see what happens."
Oh, always.
Mhm.
It is just in their
Yeah.
brain that they're like,
So they
well,
don't,
I
they don't
messed
care what
I
kind of
messed
world
everything
they're-
up, so
they-
it's your guys' job to fix
I'm
it.
about
Congrats.
to die anyhow. I don't know.
And they- Oh yeah, Russia. They send their troops in with the most horrible stuff. I've seen pictures and videos of them using literal cardboard as like ceramic plates and stuff in their vest to stop bullets.
Right.
And they've had rusty AKs that were manufactured when Mikhail Kalashnikov was still alive. Like, that looked like they came straight from the Middle East. And it is horrible because Putin wants this little itty bitty piece of land that separated from the USSR during the Soviet Union.
It's
And
oil.
it's not even about the oil. It's literally about, in Putin's words, taking back land that was stolen. Like, the USSR disbanded or whatever happened to it, and like places separated from it, and Ukraine is one of them. And now Putin wants it back, and he's going to kill everything for something stupid like land that doesn't belong to, his government anymore.
Greedy people, man.
Absolutely, it is entirely greed. And that is one of the reasons why communism will never ever be able to work is human greed.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants what they want, and they want it when they want it. They will take and take and take until they get it.
Here's my thing though. Do you think that things could be solved if civilians in general just decided as a whole that like maybe we're done being told what to do?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look at like the revolution. Look when America got its freedom. It was just a bunch of
That's
citizens
because
picking up
laws
guns and
aren't meant to exist for humanity. We are animals.
well, that's what,
exactly.
yeah,
You
but
cannot control.
listen, I think there's to an
Animals.
extent you need laws. You have to have laws, but
Well, yeah, you have to have
it's
laws,
where
but
you overgo it to the extent of like now we live in a place where we fought to get out of.
Laws are like
Like
the laws
we
that
left
we need are like
England,
don't
right?
murder.
Revolutionary War. We left England for what? Tax. Fucking tax.
we left
You know,
we left
like,
England
taxes.
for religious
All right.
freedom because we didn't want to be pressed about
Yeah.
what we had to believe in.
What we had to believe in our taxes and all kinds of shit.
Now
like
look
that.
at us.
Yeah.
Now look at
exactly.
us. People,
It's way worse in modern America than I
it-
guarantee you it was in fucking
absolutely.
England. I would go
absolutely,
right now. Like
it is absolutely so much worse currently. Because there's so
what
there's
she
so
just
much more
said is
stuff
actually
people want.
really true.
What did I just say? I
What
forget.
did you just say?
I don't remember now.
What did she just say?
I have no idea. Like there's just so
Thanks
much.
for whatever I just said.
I'm so sorry.
There's oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh man, that's
I
unfortunate.
was-
I was on a ball. I was like,
You
rolling
were.
with it.
You were. I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that.
No,
but
it's good.
yeah.
It's good. It'll come back to me eventually. We'll be done with the topic and it'll come back and I'll be like, back to what I was talking about 30 minutes ago.
Sorry about that. We were on a roll here, getting
No,
deep
yeah,
into this
I'll
was-
survive, I
conversation.
guess.
If you're just tuning in with us, this is Spaced Out with Merc and Marz. We are here every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Bunchable Network. I am Merc. This is Marz, and this
Hello.
is our guest this week, Courtney, my beautiful wife. And as always, we got Jesse behind the sticks over here, the man without a face. Unless you watch Wednesdays, which you should. If you
Absolutely.
don't, try that this week.
Catch all the
Yeah.
podcasts. All the podcasts are really good.
Yeah.
Whenever I have time, I sit and I'll watch a few of them.
No, we're gonna start selling rugs on whatnot.
We're gonna start selling rugs.
Yeah,
I got rugs. I'm the rug
your
plug.
custom
Come
rugs.
get your
Beautiful
rugs.
rugs.
Yeah,
they are really nice.
they are. I actually just
You've gotten
we just
quite
did one
great at them.
today.
And it's
They
it's
are
really cool to watch.
wonderful.
It's really cool to watch Merc make them. That is really cool.
Merc makes rugs.
Merc does make rugs.
Yeah.
What
Merc
what's
makes
your
merch also?
that too? What's the rug company called? Groovy Rugs.
Undecided. It's
disband
in the
with that.
air.
We
It's in
got a
the
toss
air
up between two.
between Groovy Rugs and the rug plug.
I like the rug plug. I think it rhymes. And
Rug
it's
plug
fun.
is cool.
Yeah, I like
It is
both.
cool.
Maybe if you could like mix them together or something.
The groovy rug plug. Yeah, no, that's maybe that's a little too much, but yeah, we got rugs coming. We start production this week.
Or
That's exciting.
Here's this.
Can I
You
get
can
a-
call
I
it.
get a-
You can call it
can I get a-
Groovy Rugs, and then your slogan can be, "We are the rug plugs."
Do we think it was a weather balloon? Shane Stafford says. Do y'all
I
think it
feel
was
like
a weather
somebody
balloon?
No.
would have identified it as a weather balloon by now. If that's what it was.
I think
Yeah.
It was a civilian
Yeah.
balloon.
personally,
Civilian weather pattern balloon.
Yeah, but that was
personally,
bullshit because then they said that they knew when it came off the ground in China.
That was the first one. There was the three more were different.
yeah, but like I'm trying to say, personally, I don't think that first balloon was a weather balloon. I do think,
No.
but I also don't think it was a spy balloon. I think it was just like air, like they just
I
launched it.
think
Just
they were flying it over places and seeing where
I don't
they
think
could fly it
I don't think it was
until
a
we told
spy
them
balloon.
where something was.
I don't think it was a spy
know,
balloon, but I do
they
think
were
it was a
just like
surveillance
floating
balloon.
it around. Yeah,
Testing
Yeah, I do
civilians.
think it was
testing stuff to
surveillance.
see when the United States was going to be like, "Oh shit, you're here."
Testing
you know,
civilian
like-
reaction time.
because the government's only going to panic when they're close to something important.
Oh yeah.
So if you just fly it around there, maybe you get somewhere close to somewhere important, and then you get a different response, and now you know that that's the area. Maybe
Yeah,
that's my thought process.
that's true.
Yeah, that's very true.
Little process of elimination.
Yeah.
Not here, not here. Oh, green light.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like a giant metal detector.
No,
Scare tactic.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Could
just
be.
kind of like a scare
Yeah.
tactic.
Could
It's
be.
I don't know. A lot of what the governments like to do is scare tactic.
Yeah, everything with the government is a scare tactic. have
They
to keep
want us.
control.
They want us to be fear. They want to rule by fear, and like
Yeah, they
it's
just mask
working.
it.
It's worked forever.
They rule by fear, but they just mask it with like.
Oh, we're
freedom.
trying to
It's
help
like,
you.
We're helping you. It's
We're
your
helping. We're
freedom, it's your
helping.
right.
But
Because
if you
it's a-
don't
There's two ways
abide
to
by our
rule.
laws, we'll kill you.
That's because there's two ways to rule. You can rule with love or you can rule with fear, but it's a lot harder to accomplish ruling with love than it is to rule with fear. It's much more loyal, but nobody wants to take the time to do
And
that.
that is why the government killed JFK. I do believe that because he would have been the only
a whole
president to be able to
conspiracy
rule
with
by
that.
love, and they killed him because of it.
Mm.
Because they want the government to be feared. With that, and he also wanted to disband the CIA and the FBI because he knew they were corrupt, and they didn't like that at all. Mm-mm. Nope, not one bit. Or in reality, the United States is run by the big three-letter agencies like the FBI and CIA and the ATF.
Shane says, yeah, sadly, most governments aren't there for the citizens, just give the fraud image.
Oh, absolutely. They want to give it that
We pay for everything. and
false
hardly
hope
have
that
anything.
the citizens actually have like a say in what happens. In reality, they don't.
That's why a baby food went up like $10, $15 in the 4 or 5 months that we've had a baby.
It's because inflation is a
Because they said, oh, hey,
Awful
you
thing.
need this. I can get more money out of you.
absolutely. That is
Yeah.
always how things are. It's inflation. It's inflation. Like, and one thing about inflation that sucks is like all the prices are rising, but minimum wage doesn't rise. Governments
Why would
want
they
us
do
to be
that?
poor so that we
They can
rely
make some
on
more
them.
money for a while until we start rioting. You're not gonna do anything
Absolutely.
about it. Come on.
Did we start burning companies to the ground? I definitely
Because
think
the longer it,
they won't care.
because they're waiting for us to riot, because the longer it takes, the more money they make in the meantime. They know it's going to happen. They just said, I'm going to get as much out of this as I can before it goes bad. So that way I can afford to recover and have some left over.
Agree. I can agree with that. So back to these UFOs for a minute, right?
Yeah, let's get back to that. We got off topic there for a second. Our apologies. Also, if you're just tuning in, this is Spaced Out with Merc and Marz. This is Merc, I'm Marz, and as you can see by our lovely green screen we have here, we have our everything posted up.
We are live Mondays.
We're
7 p.m.
live every Monday at 7 p.m.
Eastern
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have clarified that a lot better because I could have said 7. It could be 7 in the morning.
That would be rough.
That'd
I
be
don't
awful.
think I would wake up at 7 in the morning to do a
No.
podcast.
No, I don't even want to wake up at 6:30 in the morning for school. I don't want to do that at all.
I have to wake up at 4 in the morning if I work in the mornings, and then I hate my life. Because I don't even want to go to bed till like
Same.
1 in the morning. Baby don't go to bed till 11:30, so I'm stuck till then.
Relatable. Yeah. I can relate to that. Oh man. You guys happy with my artboard?
Oh, absolutely.
You guys like it?
If we could pull that
I
into
was gonna say,
in the
Brendan,
frame,
you
we
want to
would.
pull it in a frame for a second? Show off the the skill.
Honestly, I really like that. If you could like turn that into like a graphic,
Yeah, I can take a picture of it definitely.
ta-da!
Angle it towards the camera.
Oh, we probably won't be able to see that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's
Okay, there we go. That's good. We can see that. It's
pretty
ta-da.
good. It's pretty good.
I don't think I'd ever be able to wake up early enough to do that before work.
No,
Oh, man, that's rough.
I-
No,
nah, I don't like waking. I'm not a morning person, and
I
people
think-
yell at me about it all the time.
neither am I.
Because it's like I will sleep till noon.
I wasn't
if
a
my
morning
body allows
person
it.
until the baby forced me to be awake in the morning, and now I'm just used to it. So I think I could do a morning podcast.
Here's something interesting that just came up on my news thing. So all the unidentified objects that have been getting shot down.
Right.
This is a little bit depressing from like the economic side of everything. They've been shooting down these unidentified objects with Sidewinder missiles. A Sidewinder missile costs $440,000.
Jesus.
$440,000.
So, and we've shot down, how many of these things?
3
4?
or 4.
It's like 5 years
So-
of my work.
Yeah,
Over $1 million.
Yeah. More money than most people make in a lifetime.
it is crazy how much money the
roughly
government will throw
1.7
at
million.
military.
Yeah, that's rough. That's great, ain't it?
The government
that
spends
great?
more money on stuff for the military than they do
They-
literally anything else.
Just think about that. They shot down these things. They spent millions of dollars.
Here's-
shooting
here's
down
something-
balloons.
Here's something to think about. The government would rather
It's a carnival game, bro.
Absolutely.
This was a big
Well, like, the
fair.
government
This
would
was the
rather-
international
they would
fair.
rather
The
give
international fair.
they would rather give
The galactic
the
fair.
military loads and loads of money than help fix like the homeless problem.
We
Like,
have
they could
to
dec-
shoot
they could take-
balloons.
They could take a few million.
Yeah.
They could take a few million
How are
away
you
from the
gonna win the
government
galactic
military
fair?
budget to fix the homeless problem, and they choose not to.
Have you not watched Maverick?
We just shot 4 balloons in a row. We get the big prize.
They're carnival games. You gotta play
Yeah,
extra
bro.
because the carnies rigged
They're-
it.
They're training for the next Maverick movie.
Yeah.
Is what Tom Cruise making a comeback.
Top Gun. I was like,
All
what are
this
you
was,
talking about?
for
You're
a
talking about
movie.
Top Gun. I'm
Watch
stupid.
it be like everything's for a movie coming out next fucking.
I think that'd be worse than Alec Baldwin shooting someone on set
They
of a
wanted it to
movie.
be the most genuine movie they could
Yeah,
possibly
it's like
make.
most realistic movie possible.
Cost
And
genuine
Joe
horror.
Biden's up here like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm
Next thing
Sleepy
you
Joe,
know, like
and I'm
next
going to
week,
bed.
people are gonna start getting abducted and shit. It's all just literally a movie. Just shooting.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. It's gonna be so much fun.
Like a
I just
month
be at
goes by
school.
right before Anarchy. They're like, just kidding.
This is the end too.
Like, the government's gonna be like, we're gonna save a select few, and the rest of you can do whatever.
Whereas what we were built from, what we will die from.
Absolutely.
That is a valid
As
point.
soon as like Neanderthals learned how to pick up a stick and bash someone's head in with it, society was doomed. Because quickly, sticks turned into swords, swords turned in
Yeah, we
to
when we
bows,
were-
You know
bows
what's
turned into
terrible
guns.
about that? If we would have never learned that at all, we would have probably died anyway.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't evolve.
Probably
You can't kill an animal
the
to get
survival
protein.
of the fittest. It's survival of
You
the
know,
fittest.
yeah, if we
Yeah.
would have just ate plants and like fruits and vegetables, we wouldn't have survived. You can't get all your protein.
Or we would have picked up a gatherer lifestyle. And we
Well,
wouldn't
we
hunt.
would've
but you
had to have
We
can't
would have been
because-
scavengers.
We
yeah,
would've
but
had
you
to have
really
eaten-
kind of can't because you have to think Pennsylvania weather.
Oh,
There's
You'd
very,
have to
you know what I
eat
mean? Like you have
nuts.
to think different regions can't get a hold of certain things.
You'd have to
You know
eat
what I
things
mean?
like
Yeah.
nuts and stuff like that. to
Yeah,
get your
and
proteins.
in PA, like if we were
milk and potatoes.
Neanderthal
Milk and potatoes.
timeline around this region, you're not gonna find a peanut.
yeah.
Peanuts are not gonna grow around here. You know, you're not gonna
Yeah.
find nuts and stuff like that. So where you're getting your protein, it's not gonna happen.
No,
Then you
absolutely.
die from that.
And also, without eating like meat and stuff,
I mean,
we
even
would be
vegans
very
have to
prone
eat
to illness.
vitamins.
Yeah.
We'd be very
Yeah.
prone to illness.
Right.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Common cold come through, wipe half your people out.
Grug whole family died because common flu. Now he
Yeah.
all alone. Like
Imagine your kid gets diarrhea, and next thing you know, everyone just starts dying from dehydration because
God.
nobody knows anything.
it's like Oregon Trail. It's like freaking Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Yeah.
You got dysentery and now you're dead.
Oh my god.
Just
My mom
rats.
used to let me play that game on our smartphone when she was in the doctor's office.
Damn, it got the scary.
I love Oregon Trail. Maybe we'll play that on the podcast one day.
We can play
I would
Oregon
love to play
Trail
that on the podcast.
Yeah, drop some likes on the stream. Drop some comments
Absolutely.
if you want to see us play Oregon Trail. I'm down to do that.
Me too.
Yeah.
We can name it
I'm up for
after.
that.
We can name it after who's ever on the podcast or
and,
the characters.
just a
whoever's on the
reminder,
podcast.
if you guys forgot, I don't know, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. We had a post maybe a week ago for the Pocky Chip Challenge.
Oh yeah, the one chip
Uh,
challenge.
I
Super
need
spicy
my
chip.
I need my shares. I need my likes.
Get the
Yeah.
shares and likes and comments
Yeah,
up, and
yeah, I'll repost
yeah,
that.
we'll do it.
We'll get it lit back.
We
up.
will do it.
As soon as we reach that, I'm not gonna put a time limit on it. As soon as you guys reach that,
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
want to
do it.
watch that, and I'm only one person, so
And
here's
I
my
want-
philosophy on it. I
I-
already
I
did it
wanna
once
see-
for free. Okay.
I want to see him suffer. I know I'll
I-
suffer, but like,
yeah, I put.
I just
myself
want to
through it for
specifically
free
see
one
him
time,
do it.
but I already did it.
Yeah,
no,
but I want
you
to
gotta
be here in
give Tristan
person.
the bigger half of the chip because he
No.
didn't do it the first time.
You know what? Yeah, I'll do it.
You hear it? You heard it. He said he'd do
I'll
it. He
do
said
it.
he'd take the bigger
I
half of the chip.
will
He's-
take the bigger half of the chip.
he's
I'll
Chimp
bite
Happy
the
out here.
bullet. I'll bite the bullet. I'll take it.
I appreciate.
You gotta
it.
last longer than at least
If
10
you
minutes.
are just tuning
I'll
in,
try,
This is
I'll
Spaked
try.
Out with Merc and Marz. I am Merc. This
I
is
am
Marz.
Marz.
This is episode
Welcome
3
to-
of our first season.
Welcome to Spaced Out. We are live every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Join in, leave a like, leave a comment. And if you want us to talk about something, comment it on a post on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. Just interact, and we
Tag
we
us.
will definitely. Oh, absolutely.
Tag
We will
us in
definitely try to keep up with
Let's do a
talking to
recap.
y'all.
Okay.
You foes.
So
UFOs.
there's
I'm not gonna
problems
die.
on
well.
Capitol Hill. Okay, problems in the
Yeah.
White House.
Problems everywhere, all over the world.
Government's mad
constantly.
at the government because the government's not saying things. Other people in the government have different beliefs than other people.
Yeah.
They buy a rattlesnake. That's
Buy a
what I say about that.
Don't tread on me there, brother.
Don't tread on me there, pal. Yeah, so
No, yeah.
our government's fighting with each other about the things that are being shot down in the sky. There's UFOs in our atmosphere.
Half of the government's like, tell the people,
UFOs.
and the other half is like, no, we don't even know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
why do you want
Yeah.
us to tell them
Literally.
what it is when we don't know what it
That's
is?
basically what they're saying. And that's weird. It's weird to live in an age where I can get on my phone and Fox News is like UFOs.
It is scary.
Like-
It is scary. We live in a time of misinformation everywhere, constantly. And it's like there's nothing we can do about it because no matter how much misinformation you take down, there will always be those people who just want to post misinformation.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. You go on Twitter.
Trolls.
You go on Twitter
Trolls.
and go to the hashtags and like look at stuff and
You look at Twitter.
you don't know what is
The trolls are huge
misinformation.
on Twitter. They're very, very big. Lots of trolls.
Shut up. Just shut up. You're being mean to me. No, yeah. If you go anywhere on the internet and look at something political or even something like as simple as like a fake movie spoiler,
Right.
like that is misinformation. You get misinformation about literally anything, whether it be health
Oh,
tips
man.
or
I used to
just
hate
from
that.
ignorance.
Getting on YouTube and you'd be looking up like Spider-Man trailer. And
Oh,
it'd be
yeah,
like a
that's-
fake Spider-Man
That
trailer,
makes me
and
so
there's, like,
angry,
Carnage
and
or
it's
somebody
so
in
well
it,
edited that
yeah.
you can't tell, and
it's
it's
like,
like
oh,
I'm
I'm
so
hyped.
hyped for this.
Yeah, I want him to just say something about it. I'm
Like-
waiting for him
like
to say
when,
something.
when,
Never do. They never do.
When Suicide Squad 2 got leaked, like when they got leaked for the script, there was like teaser trailers of Red Hood being in it,
Yeah.
and he never was,
No.
and that made me sad because that's my favorite
that's
DC
tough.
character.
That's thought.
Absolutely. Yep. That's one thing we need to do. We need to talk about pop culture sometime on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pop culture that I
Hey,
like and that
let
I
me
will
ask you
talk
something.
about.
Do you
Next year,
believe
maybe.
the UFOs?
You believe him?
Are they spread misinformation? Because no.
No, honestly,
No.
you believe that
Oh
they're
yeah,
UFOs?
I
Like,
definitely
are they
believe
aliens or are
No.
they commercial, privately
No.
owned aircrafts?
It's
or
privately
something
owned,
of that sort.
not private. It's military owned stuff from
You think it's
other
military-owned?
countries that they're just kind of like sending out. They're just
You
kind of
think
like,
people
okay,
are
well, we need to
Poking
do.
us now.
Oh yeah, dude, the government, other governments have been poking the United States constantly.
So theoretically,
all they
you're
do.
thinking more along the lines of, okay, so China sends a balloon, it gets mad far. We don't shoot it down for a grip, okay?
And then they
So then
send
we
send
shoot it
another
down,
one. They
and
send
they're like,
another
okay.
one because they know we're more focused on
Yeah.
that, and then
Well,
we lose track of the other one.
Putin threatening us already, saying that we're gonna have repercussions, unlike ever before, or whatever he had said.
They're deaf
I
UFOs,
think that
mama,
opens for other countries to possibly be like, oh, maybe we're gonna test water too. You know, like maybe it's just
Everybody just wants to dip their freaking
every
toes
day.
in.
Yeah, maybe
everybody
it's
just
just a
wants
different country every day this week now says just sent something
Yeah.
to scavenge and look to see how far they can get. Or it's UFOs.
It is either governments being sketchy or it's, alien.
Yeah, I don't really.
But either way, that's been the
it's not good either way.
it's been the and or
Right.
for the past couple hundred years. Is it the government doing something sketchy, or
Yeah.
is it aliens that are doing something sketchy?
I think that's
somebody's doing
undeniable.
something
You
sketchy.
can't-
If I'm being for
can't
real,
deny this
honestly,
fact.
To some extent, somewhere all the way up on the hierarchy, they're already bridged. Somewhere,
Absolutely.
there's no way aliens been out and about and around and all this.
Well,
and that.
there
Yes.
I've seen things
with the nuclear
like-
power, and that's the thing too. Is like with nuclear power. It's on probably for a second. How do we know that they're not the reason why we even know about half of this stuff? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I told Sean earlier.
You look at
I
some of
said
the
earlier-
in the hierarchy. Someone has sat down with an alien, or at
Yeah.
least met, or knows heavily about the exit, like knows what they even look
Yeah.
like, or something. You know what I mean?
Somebody has
An
information.
interaction. has
Somebody-
happened
somebody's
somewhere.
definitely. Well, I mean,
I
you look
told
at things
Sean-
of like the government. They do have a very tight relationship with stuff that they don't want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
that's no.
There are presidents who I guarantee have talked with extraterrestrials or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Right.
But like it's hard to believe that we have not established like communications with
Yeah.
something else, because we are not the only intelligence life forms in the galaxy.
Or no, real
You
quick,
cannot
You go,
convince
Corinne,
me
'cause
of
I was
that.
intrigued to hear what you
Oh,
had
yeah.
to say. Also,
I'm sorry, I kind of
So-
cut you off a little bit. My bad.
No worries.
My thing is, I talked to you about this morning actually, that I have a theory that since the nuclear war treaty was broken, the aliens decided, oh well, shit, we didn't let you just live here all this time for you to fuck this planet all up. You need to stop. You just need to go away altogether. So we're gonna take care of that eventually. We're just gonna see when.
We're going to have a world or a war of
It's
worlds
plausible.
type situation, and it's not
We're
going
gonna
be
get a
pretty.
closer look here and see if y'all are actually gonna use
Yeah.
nuclear warfare.
They're like, are y'all gonna y'all gonna fight? Please don't. We will.
Please
We
don't fight.
refuse to repopulate this
Please.
freaking planet again.
I'm gonna say
First it was the giant lizards, and now it's y'all. And we
I
don't
mean,
want to. We don't
How
want
do
to
we know that
repopulate.
it's not some other species that screwed their planet up,
Yeah.
trying to come here and be like, you guys are about to do the same thing we did, so y'all need to leave, and we're gonna come not do that because we already messed up."
Listen. You
Yeah,
need to
right.
go to Mars, man. Y'all got to get out of here. Y'all
If
got
I
to
could
go. We
to
don't want
Mars
this place.
right now, I would go to Mars. I'm gonna be
Oh,
totally
absolutely.
honest.
If I could go to space even for like a little
Yeah.
bit,
I'm not trying to go
like-
through like the government.
Mars
but, like,
sounds
I'm going on my
cold.
own. If I could go on my own, I would go.
I think they need to just nuke the polar, like poles, like they're talking
You
about.
think they should send missiles into the polar caps of Mars.
Yeah. Not really send it there. Like kind of send like an unmanned drone to kind of
what?
take it there and set it off. Because
Why?
it can kickstart like you know.
You don't know the repercussions of that though, because
Well,
if you
there's only
offset
one
the
way to find
gravitational
out. There's
pull
only
of it-
one way.
Yeah,
find
one
out,
way to
though.
find out, and it's gonna kill us.
Are you willing to risk watching a planet slowly hurtle towards you?
That's
Until you
no.
die?
Here's the thing: the gravitational pull is not weak enough to be affected by
How do you
two singular nukes. Why? Look at those big old rocks, and you tell me two little beep are gonna move those. It's like popping a pimple
Okay.
on your face. Is that going to
Wait,
like?
you don't know
how
the
do we-
structural
think you-
integrity of Mars.
I was gonna say, how deep into Mars have they actually drilled?
You don't know if it's not hollow and if those nukes aren't going to collapse the whole damn thing.
That is true. I never thought. Are we getting into hollow Mars theory?
Hollow Mars theory. Hashtag hollow Mars theory. Yeah, and we could talk about
I don't like that. I don't like hollow Mars theory. Cause it's
that.
like
I think it's possible. It's a rocky, dusty
I
planet.
don't want to think about that because it's
There-
like
What if there was
'Cause that's the-
water
that is
on
the
it at
only-
some point?
that
Was
is
there
the
not?
only
Hold on.
planet in our solar system that is even
Was there
remotely
not? Was there not water
habitable.
at some point on Mars?
yes.
Did they not come
They-
out and say that there was water
Yes.
at some point on Mars?
And they found
So
they
who-
found bacteria.
Okay,
in-
so who's
which means
to
that there's
say?
some life form.
Yes, exactly. So who's to say there's not underwater caverns and shit like that on Mars?
I mean, Venus used to look like Earth and then it got too close to the sun.
You know, like these
Yeah.
caverns underground that
That's
that
why I
carry
think it's
water.
stupid that people don't think that aliens exist because Venus used to look like Earth.
Yeah.
Mars isn't that far from
There's
Earth.
a lot of
Also-
We have
habitable
3
Also-
planets in our solar
aliens don't
system
have
like
to be
Think,
this.
humanoid.
think about this.
And
though.
I
Our
think that's
solar
something
system.
people don't
Think about
about.
this. There's water on Mars. They found parasites in it. Not parasites, bacteria.
Bacteria. Yeah.
There's water on Earth with bacteria.
Yeah.
Does that mean that at some point there was a meteor or something carrying water?
Yeah.
That-
That happens all the time.
Like that means that there was like bacteria on that meteor. Meaning that came from somewhere. So where did it
and
come
shit
from?
Like that get deposited back onto our planet from our atmosphere all the time.
Yeah. But it's like
the same as
that
like, you know,
to me
the
that
evaporation
proves
process
the
where-
existence of life outside of Earth. Because there's bacteria and bacteria evolves into single cell
Life forms,
organisms and then so on till you get actual life forms.
Right.
But I think the problem was with Mars was it was just too dry. So all the water got
What
absorbed.
made Mars too dry though?
That is something we'll have to talk about on another podcast.
Well,
because
think
it's
about it.
drained into somewhere.
Into
Where-
the hollow
Okay, but
Mars
where
theory.
is Mars in the solar system?
Behind us.
Behind us?
Yes.
I can't remember where it is on the thing.
It's behind us.
Come on, Mars.
I don't.
It's Mercury,
the hollow
Venus,
Mars.
Earth, Mars.
Anyway, so I mean, does it make you drier the farther away you get from the sun though?
No, it would. If
No.
anything, it would make it less dry because the sun would
You'd be
burning
cold.
So
out.
why?
No, the
is
further
Mars
you-
so
It would- no,
dry?
The
I'm
further
saying
you
that
get
what
away
if
from the
it-
sun, the colder you are.
No, I'm saying that
Colder
what if it
gets.
what if it didn't go away? It just drained into some kind of underground cavern and froze.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely
Okay,
kind of. I definitely would believe in that.
but wouldn't there have to be some kind of structural collapse on the crust?
Not
of the
necessarily.
planet
Not if
for
the
that to
water
drain?
filled those crevices and froze. It would become the structure.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe
It would be like building
maybe at
an
one
igloo.
point, Mars was closer to the sun,
Especially because ice
and
expands.
it dried all the water out.
Right.
Like it was a thriving planet with all this water on it, and then it got a little too close to the sun, and there goes all the water, all dried and
No, 'cause
just gone.
we wouldn't have water because we're closer to the sun.
Yeah, but maybe at some point the planets got all out of
Mm.
whack, or they were still finding their way to
gravity
into the solar system to find its rotation around the sun.
So all the planets came from away from the sun. The gravity, if you were already closer to the sun, wouldn't let you escape farther back from the sun. We're only moving towards the sun. You can't move away from the sun. So all the planets that are here were only farther away. They're only getting closer.
Okay.
It's honestly kind of scary that like how big space is, because it's never ending. It is eternal. It is eternally
There's
expanding.
another, see, that's another thing.
But yeah,
We don't
exactly.
know.
We don't know that.
We see what we
There could
what
be an edge of it.
scientists theorize is that we see 1/1,000,000 of what space is with our biggest, best telescope. Bro.
I don't
I
know.
was watching a video the other day about how there's planets that they can see enough to not to see on the planet's surface, but to see that it looks like this planet could possibly contain life.
To me personally, I like the bubble theory that there are different parallel universes and we're all just stored in bubbles. Like kind of like a bubble bath. How there's just a bunch of bubbles, big ones, small ones, ones that pop. Like
Yeah.
when there's destruction of
That's an
a
interesting way to think of it.
universe.
But see, stuff like that.
it's like there's no factual anything behind it. It's just
No,
kind of
yeah,
like
no, I get
thinking
that.
of it.
It's
Something.
like, when you come to theories like that, you have to, at that point, you have to admit that there is a creator of all, because then you think, how did the bubbles get there?
Yeah, but
Here's-
that's a
Bubbles
never-ending
on-
question
Okay,
though.
so I
It's
saw
like
something,
why
right?
Space being space and there potentially being no God
Mhm.
is such a believable thing for most people, because if space is just never ending in space and there's so many metals that we still don't know about, so many different like chemicals and whatnot, because they're just stored on asteroids that are millions of light years away and whatever, the potential
There
of
is-
the evolution theory 100%.
Okay, so I saw
There
this-
is an end to space. They have I've seen multiple videos about how they do see that there is an end to space, and it is kind of shaped like a bubble. It's shaped like a big giant oval.
Hmm.
No, I wonder if that's
And you
just-
can it's kind
No.
of like there's a boundary and then there's nothing.
The giant black hole at the end.
It's a little
Or
bit of
galaxy.
theory, a little bit what they believe is
sucking our
actually
entire
true.
existence
but-
and galaxy into it.
That the
No, I saw this thing though. Okay, so this guy was he's like a paraglider, right? So he was talking about how when you're paragliding, it's very similar to like being in the water. And like he was explaining it, and it was really weird, and it made me think, right? So what if that's how space is, right? So how we're all kind of floating, kind of goes into what you were talking about with the bubbles, right? All floating on that top layer of like where those quote unquote bubbles would be. And that's
Yeah.
where all the planets
And,
align and shit.
like what
But that's why there's depth below us. That's factual. That's
like
where
what's
gravity
scary about
comes from.
space is like you look at like the Milky Way and then you look at like how a cell looks.
Yeah.
It is identical.
Like yeah, just
And
like
it's
picture
like-
space as like an ocean.
It just everything just repeats itself. It may be like rare that something would repeat itself like that, like how a galaxy, like a Milky Way, like how the Milky Way looks compared to like a human cell.
Mhm.
Like they look so identical. But it's like a
Alright.
very rare thing to happen.
We got about 60 seconds of the 1 hour mark of this Monday night episode of Spaced Out with Merc and Marz. Let's go through our conclusions here, I guess. What's your conclusion about these UFOs? What's your vote, Courtney?
I don't know. I think that they could be UFOs, but I think it could also just be everybody amping everything up because the unknown is scary.
You're in the middle.
Yeah.
How about you, Mars?
Personally, I think that the UFOs, they're not really something to be scared of, but they're something to be wary of. Like it's not like a big threat, but they could possibly become some. I still think that they're extraterrestrial because, there is video evidence of what an extraterrestrial UFO looks like, and what they kind of describe these ones as doesn't really seem like that. It just kind of seems like they're balloons. Like,
Okay. Well, I believe that in conclusion, then, I think we've learned not necessarily to fear the UFOs, but fear who is hiding the UFOs from us
absolutely.
and why they're hiding it.
Fear Big Brother.
Yeah,
Fear Brother Eye.
Don't fear what you know. Fear
Don't.
what they're not telling you.
exactly.
Exactly.
They tell
See,
you it's an alien.
distrust
That's not
in
what you
your
should be
gov-
afraid
yeah.
of.
Distrust in your government
we all
because
got
they
the idea.
lied to you.
Exactly. All right. Well,
This was a
I
very
think we
this
get
was
the
a
picture.
very it was a very political podcast,
out.
but
Space it out.
Yeah, like, it was very political. But to be completely honest,
Well, how
it's
on
current.
theme?
It's current events, so it's like
Yeah, it's
these
important.
need to be talked about. And we did get a little off track. We did get a little off track about the Oregon Trail and all that stuff, but like we did bounce back to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Hit him with the wheel.
all right,
All right.
good night, everybody.
This has been Spaced Out. We will see you next week with Merc and Marz at Monday. Usually it's
Monday,
Tuesday.
7
I will
p.m.
be Merc,
Eastern
he will
Standard
be
Time.
Marz, and it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will see you there.
Have a good one.